How's everybody tonight? Thank you everybody for coming. My name is Coach Boyd. We'll get started with the Garland City public hearing for the 2020-2021 budget. And everybody go back here and say a prayer and get started. Okay? Do you have any Father, thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for all that you've given us. Thank you for your many blessings, Lord. We ask and pray that you watch over us, guide and direct us in all that we say and do, and as we work with the city, bless it, and lead us in the right direction, make the right decisions, and all we need to do for the citizens, Lord. And everything that we say and do, honor, glorify your name. Thank you for this tonight. In this time, our prayer. Amen. Everybody stand and pledge allegiance. All right, ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, we've got tonight there's one session where you can come up and make public comments. Lisa has, I think, 3 that will write in. If you will, you come in. Stand at the front, you have 5 minutes to speak, and I think we're going to get everybody in tonight, it'll be fine. We appreciate your time coming up and voicing your decisions and concerns and opinions on what we'll be doing. And so feel free to let us know. There's, I think she said there's lights up here where you can light the microphone off. Is there, they use this microphone?
No,
they got a microphone. All right. So at least it's going to lead us on first, so you can comment.
Greetings. I am commenting on the decision to purchase land for a sports complex as well as an increase on our utility bill. The purchase of the land was very premature considering our current COVID-19 pandemic. The governor has opened back up the state slowly. Many stores, restaurants, and schools are still closed. Now that we are embarking upon a new normal for our country, walking trails is a great idea, but considering the rise in new cases and deaths, do we really need to be underneath each other just to exercise or even to watch a sports event? So my question is, when will you break ground on this future project? Where are the funds coming from? Secondly, the city is struggling to fund existing projects, and for the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget, considering increasing our utility rates is not the answer to your financial dilemma. In your recent notice, property tax is not even considered in any of the increase. The amount estimated increase that will trickle down from every resident here is changed in comparison to increasing property tax by 4%. If you still decide to increase our utility rates, does this mean the sanitation department will do more than what they're doing now? In conclusion, due to our present state of affairs, my best recommendation is to address everything that is wrong before hurricane season begins, before this town gets washed away and soon coming floods. We received another email from David Wyndham, who lives on McKinnon Street. I received the fiscal year 2020-2021 letter. I want to cast my vote voting no. The reason I vote this way is because several years ago we voted to add a road maintenance fee so we can improve the roads of Garland. As of today, I have 4 potholes on my street that I've called several times, and they have never been fixed. The street in front of the health department has many potholes, some of which, if you hit, will destroy your vehicle if you hit them too hard. If Darlington can't do right with the money you are already getting, you don't need more money. What we need is someone in office that can budget and do what they're supposed to do with the funds already coming in. If we give the city more money, the only thing that will happen is all the higher-ups get big pay raises. What Darlington needs to do is figure out how to attract new businesses in Darlington County. This is where you will get the most money from. I vote no to increasing water and sewer rates. I vote no to increasing sanitation fees. I vote no to stormwater fees. I will either be in attendance are watching to hear my letterhead every week. Another email received that same day. I, K. Francis Lagon, am writing this message to oppose the proposed monthly annual rate increase by the City of Darlington Water and Sewer Department. For the past 17 years, I've been the owner of a single-family home on Jeffrey Street. As a retired person on a fixed income, I have achieved greater savings in water usage in past years by upgrading to new efficient systems. Nevertheless, we are looking for combined increases to rates of 40 and 60% for water and sewer, 28% for sanitation fees, and a $2.50 stormwater fee. This is a monthly estimated increase of $18.05. However, your public notice does not provide any details on any saving or cost reductions you will achieve or plan to achieve in repairing or replacing the city's infrastructure, i.e. water lines, sewer lines, storm drainage, sidewalks, and streets. Moreover, it does not explain the benefits of replacing and/or repairing the existing infrastructure system. Further, it does not identify the areas in Garland targeted for these upgrade or replacement systems. Homeowners should not be asked to foot the bill for lack of planning. Furthermore, the estimated proposed increase is unreasonable. I insist that the proposed increase be withdrawn and we can show appropriate offsetting savings and a long-term plan for more effectively managing costs, i.e. replacement, repair, and/or upgrading of the infrastructure system. And then we received one written notice that was dropped off at City Hall from Lincoln Privet, referring to the bulky refuse fines. The fines must be imposed, and if your judge does not work with you on this, then get rid of him. If this is not done, you will see a large snowball effect happening. The city will then be needing more increases to cover the new costs. There are only 10 to 15 people who are continuing to violate this ordinance. You mark my words, it will increase by 150%. Fines must be imposed. Also, the owners of Dixie Cups should be made to repair streets and intersections that their trucks have torn up. Avenue B and 2nd Street and Avenue C and 2nd Street. The railroad tracks on 3rd Street are the worst I've ever seen. I can't say who is to blame here, probably the railroad. That is all the written comments we received. And there are wipes here at the dais.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
No.
Can you hear me now? Okay, very good. All right. I don't know if you know me, I'm City Manager Howard Garland. I've lived here except for 5 years in Mullins all my life. Grew up on South 3rd Street. I know the problems we've had in commercial water growing up. I remember our white clothes being red and having to go and get the iron out at the water department. I remember staying with my grandma on Parrott Street, and she'd give me $8.40, dollar bills and quarters, to go pay the water bill. That was 1972. So folks, times have changed, and we have raised our water bill rates enough to keep up with our infrastructure problems. Darlington is falling apart underneath the ground. Our water sewer lines are falling apart at an alarming rate. All the rain that we've got in the last 5 years has shifted our water and sewer lines. The biggest problem that you see currently is the sewer line on East Broad Street. That line was built 100 years ago. And when it was built, it was a master of engineering, but it was put 22 foot in the ground. And it collapsed at the end of February. And we went down and found a pipe that was made out of concrete that we couldn't get a camera through because it's collapsed in 3 different places between Long Street and South 3rd Street. So we are forced now to go in and look at an area that should have been replaced, pipe should have been replaced 40, 50 years ago. We are paying today for previous mayors and councils kicking the problem down the road. Something that should have been fixed in the 70s or 80s or even the 90s hasn't been fixed yet. And so while we've been applying for grants to update our water and sewer lines in low to moderate income areas, areas that are considered commercial or industrial, have not been updated at all. And that area is mostly a commercial area. And so that's why the sewer pipes are falling apart. We have pipes on West Broad Street, which is mostly a residential area. They're just as deep in the ground, and nobody knows what's wrong with them. So we're sitting on a powder keg here, folks. We've got to fix these things, and the only way we can do that, and I'm going to take you through these steps, is by raising our water and sewer rates. We have this project on East Broad Street. The initial estimate was $750,000. That's when we thought we could go through and do pipe bursting. That's where you put a balloon in that carries a pipe through, and it busts the old pipe out the way. But with the pipe collapse, we can't do that. So we have to go in and dig 20 to 22 foot in the ground to replace this pipe. And it's going to cost somewhere over $1 million. Since the end of February, we've had to run a bypass generator for the sewage in that area. That generator costs us $60,000 a month. That comes out of our reserve fund. And that's 4 months now, $250,000 that we've had to eat out of our reserve fund. So this is the problem that we've got. We have the crumbling infrastructure. We have many issues. We had 20 inches of rain in May. That's usually something that comes with a hurricane. And we had sewage overflowing on Allen Street, on Farm Street, on North Main Street. Our vacuum truck made 140 trips carrying sewage to the treatment plant from the overflows of the sewage problems. So we bought the vacuum truck that we bought at the time in 2018. We paid $50,000 a year. The vacuum truck's the best thing that's happened to the city of Darlington just because SCDOT doesn't keep up stormwater properly. SCDOT owns most of the roads in Darlington City. And they don't keep up the ditches, and they don't keep up the storm drains. So that's left to the city of Darlington to pick up after them. And as the mayor's talked about, and the council members have talked about to the blue in the face, we're sick and tired of it. We wrote a letter to the legal counsel for SCDOT in May, asking them to come and help us out. I mean, every little town in South Carolina is having these problems. It's just that ours are magnified because DOT, unlike other counties, is not doing their job here. DOT county office doesn't even have a vacuum truck. We had to pay for a vacuum truck to do their work. Somebody called me about a problem on Joe Lewis and it's a ditch. I know, I have to tell them, ask you the facts. Oh, that's DOT. Or Elaine Reed calls about a ditch on Tallulah Street. Oh, that's DOT. We own 43 streets in Darlington City, partially or wholly. Everything else, like Russell Street with all the holes in it, that's SCDOT. So understand when I say this, we're behind the 8 ball because we've got to replace our aging water and sewer infrastructure. We also have a project that we've been working on for over a year and a half. It's the South Darlington Sewer Pump Station Renovation Grant. We got a grant from EDA, the Economic Development Administration, for $1.1 million to replace lift stations on Verizon, which is right there on South Main Street, Joe Lewis Lift Station, the old treatment plant on North March Highway, and the Hampton Street well, which is right behind Grove Hill Cemetery. The EDA grant was written by PD Council of Governments. We got a grant to match the EDA grant with the state of South Carolina Rural Infrastructure Authority for $294,000. It was written by Janie Latham and Latham Consulting Corporation. So our outlay on that is only $35,000. So we're bidding that project out. We're waiting for the plans to come back from EDA for approval, and we hope to start that project within the next few months. As I mentioned, we've had these sewer overflow issues on Farm Street, on Allen Street for years whenever it rains. It's just that folks throw it up. Do y'all remember ever having this much rain in a 5-year period? And we have thunderstorms, but we get a 100-year flood every 2 months now. We get a hurricane every year. So with the type of soil that we have in the coastal interior plain of South Carolina, our water lines are falling apart, our sewer lines are falling apart, our stormwater infrastructure with the project that we completed in the west end of Garland was supposed to projected to cost $1.5 million. But when we got looking at it, it cost $2.7 million. And guess what? The town stormwater fund is right now bankrupt because we did one project to help 10% of town. So we've got to raise the stormwater fees because we can't afford to pay our stormwater bond. We only collect $134,000 a year right now in stormwater fees. The bond payment by itself is $180,000. Hear that? We can't pay the bill unless we raise the stormwater fee. We can't pay our bills and fix these lines if we don't raise our water sewer fees. Our sanitation department, we have a storm truck. It's from 1980. 40 years now. That's middle age for you and me, but for a truck, come on. We have 2 trash trucks, we have 2 cherry pickers we're paying for on time. Altogether, it's $1 million worth of equipment that we're making $75,000 a year payments on because we couldn't afford it. So we are heavily in debt in these departments. That's why we're raising these fees. We want to do a better job for you. And think about the deal that you're getting with your sanitation department. If you go out in the county, and Timmons picks up the trash once a week. Once a week is $25. What we offer you in the city of Darlington by picking up every week is recycling, garbage pickup, we pick up your yard debris. This is for one fee. It's a deal compared to the county and the private waste the pickup system that they have. A lot of our folks are getting older. I'm talking about our city employees now. Some of our folks have 30, 35 years of service. There's one fellow, I won't mention any name, but I went to school with him, and he knows our water source system like the back of his hand. He's getting older, he's going to retire soon. Most of our folks in the street department are of age, are going to retire soon. Who's going to replace them? Our population is aging, so we have to be able to hire better online workers. We're paying our street department CDL drivers sometimes $15, $16, $17 an hour when we used to pay $12 because Harts will scoop them up if we don't pay them enough. We have to have good CDL drivers. So the cost of everything's going up, folks, and I know it's a hit, but we're left to clean up the mess that previous mayors and councils and managers did not fix. And if we don't fix it now, we're going to be Timminsville or Lamar in 5 years. Hear me. Do y'all want to be Timminsville and Lamar? Nothing against Timminsville and Lamar, but Timminsville had to give their water system away to the city of Florence. They lost their police department for 2 years. Lamar is under so many consent orders from DHEC, they have to meet, have a volunteer group put together to try to help clean up their water sewer issue. I talk with their mayor several times a year, Mayor McPherson, about the problems that they have with their system. And folks, if we don't raise these rates now, guess what? 6 months from now, when we go bankrupt with our water sewer department, we're going to be forced to sell our water sewer system to someone else, the Water Sewer Authority, the City of Florence, and guess what then? You won't have a say in whether they raise your water sewer rates. And do you know me to be mean-spirited if you've ever come to my office or talk to me about this? I've got my serious hat on right now. This is my hometown, but we've got to do this, folks. We're falling apart. You understand what I'm saying? I'm putting my job on the line, just like I did 5 years ago when I promised those people on Charles Street we would fix their water line and their stormwater issues. We did. If we don't do this now, we're going to die as a town, people. We're going to die. We got to do this. Thank you.
Well, since I'm in control, I'll speak. Thank you, Howard, for finally standing up and talking, okay? And I will take the full blame of the video camera because I'm the one that asked for the raise of the water bill. And if I offend you, I'm sorry. But I have inherited a city with pipes that are 100 years old. If you look around this room, do you see anybody in this room that's 100 years old? Every man is appointed a time to die. And our ancestors put these pipes and drains in our ground, and when you walk over on Washington Street, and you look down at that hole that's sitting over there, it belongs to DOT, right? And we still can't get anybody to fix. I've been over it, they've been over there. It's in the lady's yard, I'm not going to call her name, but right there by the yard. It is a beautiful, beautiful hole. Somebody had the nerve to drive down and deep in that hole, put beautiful brick all the way around it, 70 to 100 years ago. But anybody in this room that's over 100 years old, which I don't see, okay, you know that at 100 years old, eventually you're going to die, okay? It's going to give away. My mother died at 91. It gave away. These pipes that we have today are given away. The pipe that you see on Broad Street, okay, that we all have to go around, that we are all irritated about, okay, is $1.2 million at least right this moment. It would have been a lot less. Pipe bursting, let me explain to you so you clearly understand on video and in here. Pipe bursting, as he said, that road over there is 22 feet deep at least. Okay? They have to put the dirt in, take the dirt out, put the nice dirt back in, pack it over and over and over. That's a major expense. You can't do it, you can't do it. I would love to go out there and do it, but you've got to have a special crew, which is going to cost you more money. Okay? And we waited too late to go get it done. And so they can't go in and do pipe bursting. So we've got to collect money to fix that. We've got to collect money to continue to pay for the trucks that were involved last time, continue to pay the payments on those. They're going around doing a wonderful job that Alex is constantly seeing out doing drains, sucking on the drains to try to clean things up. But if we can ever get our head above water, then we can start trying to get the other pipes and drains that are messed up fixed, so we don't have to go back and do the high cost of repairing the road that's tore up. Okay? I would love to have a shirt and I can sell everybody that says, call DOT. I've been there for 6 months. And people call me over and over and over. And I try my best to get to everybody's house, drain the water out of their ditch, their yard, fix what I can personally fix for myself to help them. But I would be willing to bet my salary, 90% of the time when I go back to Alex, and I go back to Howard, and I know they probably get tired of me calling them. I'll text them and I'll call them, and Lisa and Sheila, over and over and over. And they always say, that's not our road. DOT. Okay? To the point that I asked our city lawyer, to send a legal letter to say that we won't sue you. Okay? I don't want to sue anybody. I'm not a sue person. Okay? I say a lot of things strong to be aggressive, to try to get somebody's attention, and we're trying all we can do to get their attention. I would like to find the person that's in charge of the ones that are around here so we can get stuff done, okay? And so please know that we're all fighting to try to get things done, that we don't want to raise the water, but we've got to raise things up. And I want to apologize because I want to raise them higher, okay? Not tremendously higher, but we've got to get out of this hole to the point where we can fix our town, all right? We all want more businesses, correct? We all want more homes, okay? But to have a home, more business homes in this town, we're going to have businesses. Nobody will open a business in our town unless they've got people that will come to it, okay? So to have a business, you've got to have people. To have people come in, they say, I want to have somewhere to go, okay? So we've got to make our town look beautiful, clean it up, and all of us work together. To do that, we've got to go out and fix our streets. I go down the side of the road, try to cut stuff with a weed eater. I'm calling and fussing all the time, and we need this cut to make it look better. So we're all out here trying. Everybody's out here trying. So again, we do apologize that if we've got to raise, and we'll come up and speak in a minute. Please let us know your concerns. But again, we don't want to have to do it no more than anybody else has to do. Everywhere we look, there's more money to come in. Again, we've been led with things that were done well 100 years ago. But the time has come that they're going to collapse. And as you see on Broad Street, Well Street by the fire department, fire trucks falling in the road. Broad Street's fell through like that. There's other places that hopefully not as been as bad as Broad Street is right this morning. Hopefully we can get it before we get worse. So again, like the railroad tracks and things like that come through, that makes us look bad. DOT makes us look bad. So the stuff, a lot of the things that are broken in town, we can't fix, and we're trying to fix. We're trying to get behind them to do what they should be doing. So again, thank you for your time. Feel free to come up. I think we've got the first one to come was Rose Pruitt. The next will be Mr. Live, Ernestine Live.
Everybody here? No. You gotta put it close. Really close. Yeah, just put it really close. Really close. How about now? Is that better? No. No? Still no? Just talk real loud. They'll do. Okay. I'm gonna take the mask off so it won't sound like I'm talking with a bucket on my head. The majority of my neighbors are probably here tonight to object to the proposed water and sewer rate. Current councils seem fit to point out that our failing infrastructure has been ignored by previous councils. There's no doubt about it. It's now necessary to put that burden on the citizens of Darlington with one large rate and fee hike that will leave many of us unable to afford the one thing that is necessary for all life on earth, and that is water. This during a deadly pandemic that requires us all to wash our hands and sanitize our surroundings to prevent the spread of the disease that could kill us. The rate increase will fall disproportionately on the citizens of Darlington. With over 25% of our citizens living below the federal poverty level, EPA guidelines consider a combined water and sewer bill greater than 4.5% of your income to be unaffordable. 2020 federal poverty guidelines indicate that amount is approximately $48 now. Most of us are already paying more than that unaffordable 4.5% with our current rate. This rate increase may very well raise the rate well beyond what many of my neighbors on fixed incomes can afford to pay. I think my neighbors are right to be upset. The collapsed sewer line on East Broad Street, the millions of dollars it's going to cost to repair that and the other projects are only the tip of the iceberg. Our aging infrastructure is on the verge of collapsing like a bunch of dominoes. The cave-ins will continue, the pipes will break and leak, and the rate increases will accelerate until the citizens of Darlington reach a point where all of us are unable to pay our water bills. It's time to consider a different plan. Some of you may have considered an approach that would consolidate water and sewer systems into a regional system. I urge you to look at that again. One of the main complaints I've heard for dismissing this approach is that the city would lose revenue and control the rates. And I hate to break it to you, but that's already happened. But the fact that we are here tonight proves it. Darlington doesn't have the resources or the expertise necessary to maintain its water and sewer system alone. Combined regional systems, not necessarily sales to private companies in, say, Myrtle Beach, offer financial benefits that small systems can't benefit from. Usually lower rates, revenue stability, economies of scale and operating efficiencies, and increased opportunities for economic development. I have provided council with a copy of a UNC School of Government Environmental Finance Center study that examines some of those financial impacts of strengthening utilities through consolidation. I hope each of you will take the time to review it so that we don't wind up here again in 6 months without a better plan raising the rates.
I only have a few things to say. On my side of town, it's very bad. I'm on the side where the oil mill is at. I have a problem with that. With the oil mill, and I know we're talking about just for the budget. With the oil mill, what we're smelling right now, each and every day, has not improved. Has not improved at all. It's not bad. I'm already on disability. So this doesn't help me at all. Most of the senior citizens on my side of town are senior citizens. They are sick. They are already on we got the oxygen tanks. So with them coming, they was not going to come to this meeting tonight because they're afraid. They're staying home. Just right now with everything that's going on, I understand that we do need an increase. But at this time, we can't clean up everything because it took years for it to get like this.
Right now.
It ain't going to clean up just that fast.
Right.
It's not going to happen. So we can't put that all on us because of this burden. This burden just didn't happen. But y'all want to put it on us and say, now we have to clean this up. That's not fair. That's not fair. It's not. That's all, and I'm just saying, like you're saying, on Chestnut Street, there's water that's there too. Just in my street, there's water that's there. There's streets that got potholes. I got potholes right down Flint Circle. They keep telling me that it's county, but I'm paying taxes for city and county. And I'm still with the potholes that come put a little here. I got potholes that, you just come down Flint Circle and you'll see what I mean. Even with coming with the cleaning, I try to get my street clean. Me and the guy, the next door, we clean it, but it's part of some of the stuff that you want to increase, but it does not help everybody. This is not going to happen just overnight. You're going to charge us $20 a month? There are already people that are not paying. So you think they're going to pay if you increase it? So that's just going to make it worse. You got to figure out a better way for everybody, not just some, everybody, because we all are citizens. I work hard. I work 30 years. I worked that. I deserve that. Try helping us with that smell every day. That's not a good smell. Walk out your door and you smell that CBD plant every day. But you keep putting from one thing to another. But this increase is just not, it's not right. It's not at the right time. Everything that's going on, people dying. People out here don't even know if they have some place to live. People are being still put out right now. But you want to increase this? I don't see it. That's just my opinion on it. We're all supposed to be equal here. Treat us that way.
Georgia Ross.
It's me.
Good evening to everybody. Good evening. For all of you who do not know me, my name is Georgia Ross. I am military retired, 20 plus years. Enjoyed my life in the military and going to enjoy my life, the rest of my life here at home. So, to Mayor Boyd, city manager and staff, city council members, and the citizens of Darlington. I'm here on behalf of senior citizens on fixed income to include people that have already lost their job because of a pandemic that we had nothing to do with, and now you're going to raise our water bill another $15. People have not even got the stimulus. Some don't have a job. Some don't even know if they'll go back to work. So how will they pay the water bill then? I'm sure you all have cut off some water. I saw the thing come out. After the 15th of this month, if your water bill was 2 months behind and you had not paid it, oh, your water, oops. Now, I'm going to tell you, I talked to a lot of people, and I told those people, if you get your stimulus, pay your water bill, pay your light bill. Don't sit back saying, oh, they say I can use my money for something else. Pay your bills, because you don't know when something can happen when you cannot pay your bill. But at a time like this, it's wrong. I'm with Ms. Lyde over there. I know her quite well. Didn't know she was going to be here. But last month, I spoke with Mr. Garland. I told Mr. Garland my issues. My issues was from different ones calling me, regular age people and senior citizens. And for those of you that don't know, I'm 73 years old. Okay? So I'm still out there fighting for them and folks. Okay? Mr. Garland said, if you're the one to come up with the issue, are you their guinea pig? I stated to Mr. Garland, after 25 plus years in the military, I'll be anybody's guinea pig if they want me to stand up and talk for them. So here I am, Mr. Garland, the guinea pig. Okay? Ms. Garland told me to call the mayor. I called the mayor. Oh, I forgot. I don't need the mic, do I? Oh, y'all can tell where I come from. I called the mayor. The mayor let me come up to one of his council meetings. I spoke to the council. To no avail. They don't care. They're going to raise the water bill anyway. But I'm with Ms. Lyde over there. This issue in Darlington did not happen overnight. These things that are happening now have been happening on and on and on. The previous mayor didn't get anything done, but you got a mayor now with less than 6 months in service that's already want to raise your water bill. Way up there. Come on, Mayor. You told the people if they voted for you, you would take care of them. That's the way you're taking care of them? My next question. How many council members does this raise in the water bill affect? How many? Don't raise your hand, don't tell me. Just you.
I know it. It's a universal bill.
It does affect you.
It's going to affect me and everybody in the city.
In the city, those that live in the city, you are so correct. Those of us that live in the city. Okay, so everybody don't live in the city, I promise you that. Everybody in the city council, I'm pretty sure, does not live in the city. So, we asked the mayor for an external audit. Is that too much to ask for? If these folks have been in office for so long, quite a while, longer than the mayor, why can't we see some of the things and the reasons why these things did not get fixed? Or they're falling apart now. I know they're falling apart. I've had rims fixed on my car. I got a friend that over there on Henry Street. You ought to see the holes up and down this street. We have to ride in somebody's yard to get to and from their house. In front of Hardy's right here, there is a hole you can bury a cat in.
Big deal.
You know? Big hole, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, we're saying as senior citizens, and I'm agreeing with Sister Laura, do not put this on our back. Do not put this on our back. Let's work together and try to figure out another way to do this. Because to tell these folks is on fixed income, and I'm going to tell you, you got people that don't even get $700 a month. A month. Senior citizens don't even make $700 a month. How are they going to pay a water bill of $100 a month? There's no way. I help a lot of people. They know me. I feed a lot of people. But to go out there and on a $730 a month check to say you're going to raise their water bill, that's a no-no. Mayor, council members, let's get together. I am available. My cousin right there who told y'all who I was, she can tell you how to get in touch with me. Now, let's get together if all possible and work out another way. I understand you all have a agenda why you say you want to do this, that, and the other. But this agenda is not going to work with some people. And I'm sure you cut off plenty of waters last month in the 60, this month in the 60. But mine wasn't one of them. Okay? So, and I'm also going to tell you that I told the people in the street, voting has consequences. Find out who you're voting for, ask them what their record is, and pay close attention to what you're doing. Just don't vote for somebody because they're your family member, they're your friend, or you like them. They gave you $5. Yeah, that happened too on an election. Person walking around giving somebody $5. They called me and told me that too. You eat a burger costs more than $5. I'm on your time, not cheap. I eat a burger costs more than $5 when I feel like eating. But I'm going to say again, pay attention to who you're voting for, and be sure that person has the right record, and that they're not going to hurt you. And I know I've been told that you need the money, but let's work it out another way. Please, if it means anything to you. Just try to work on something another way. All this is right round. And for that, I thank you all for giving me this second to do. Have a good evening.
McDonald.
Could you speak up?
McDonald.
Thank you for the opportunity to share ideas.
closer to your mic.
Can you hear me now? 15 years ago, my husband and I moved to this area. We chose to live in an older home on West Broad Street. We love older homes. We were happy to do the renovations on them. We spent a lot of money. We came here with a young man, my youngest son, with respiratory problems. Shortly after we bought the house, we noticed that there was an odor in the air that we hadn't noticed when we looked at the home and right after we purchased it, and discovered it was from the Hartsville oil mill. At the time, they were burning oil from cottonseed, and occasionally it smelled like they were cooking dead rats, and it was obnoxious. It came in seasonal ways, so it wasn't burning all the time. It wasn't stinking all the time, but we were concerned about it, not just because of the environmental odor, but because of the particulate matter that was on our car every morning. So my husband did research, and we presented the research to the city council at the time, which was several mayors prior. We were basically told that the tax revenues from the oil mill were substantial and that they would look into our issues. Part of what was presented was the fact that this area, because of the particulates in the air, not just from the oil mill, but from the paper cup company and from the plywood company and the oil mill, raises the particulate matter in this area very high. This area has more admissions to ERs for asthma and respiratory problems than almost every place else in the state. Armed with that information, we went to the city council, and we got basically told, well, we'll look into it. Well, I think that owner of the oil mill at the time put a scrubber on the stack, the effluent stack of the mill. And it was a little bit better, but it was still a problem. Now, this is 15 years down the road from that. My son has since died. I don't know that the particulate matter in this area has had anything to do with it. He was on oxygen full time. Now we have a problem with the CBD oil plant. And it's not a seasonal thing. It's all the time. We bought our house because we love older homes. We spent a lot of money on our home. We love the house because it has a sleeping porch and a lovely yard. I like to work in the yard. Since the CBD oil mill has been working, you can't work in the yard. I can't sit on my front porch. If I work in the yard for more than an hour, I come in the house with a sore throat. I don't live right near the plant. Some of you do. When I looked into it, what I was told by somebody in county government, that the level of particulates and chemicals in the effluent are right below toxic level, so they can get away with it. But I'm telling you, this is the town that we live in. What's the sense of having a beautification board, a historic commission, that will tell you what you can and can't do with your historic home, that will get on your case if you can't do on color or put the wrong tile on your roof? What's the sense in having historic homes from a historic district that you can't even enjoy and spend time out in because of a bill in a residential community? If that isn't taken care of, I'm moving out of Darlington. Because what that says to me is you want our tax money, but how much do you really care about the health, the community, the environment that these homes are in? Another issue is that the city needs to look at the properties that are abandoned and do something serious about it. The absence of city governance over those properties is increasing the value of all the properties of the historic district. On my street alone, in 15 years we've been here, 4 homes have been converted to rentals. One right next door to me. I tried to talk to the man who bought it. It's like, you know, some people have to buy this. He wasn't interested. His goal is to get 50 rental properties that he can use for income. What does that do to a neighborhood? Every time a rental goes in, the person who's renting isn't really committed to the property. They don't take care of the property. And neither does the man who owns the property. So it decreases the community and the quality, the value of the homes around it. In my neighborhood, in the last 15 years, Some of the rental properties have had prostitutes, people selling drugs, and most recently, the house next door to me was shot up at 3:30 in the morning on a Sunday. What's to keep me living here? If you don't care about the environment that the people here live in, there's no reason to stay. Forget the sewer system problem. We need to think about the health of the people in this community, and the CP oil plant is not interested in that. Are you?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Protocol have already been extended. My name is Ernest Ralston. Mr. Garland, you gave a powerful testimony. You know, I've been back here 30 years. 20 years ago, I stood before the city council and talked to the city council about the water problem. Not just drainage. Okay, hear me? Thought I was talking loud enough. About 20 years ago, I stood before the city council talking about a water issue, quality of water, the pipes, mainly the pipes. That time, most of the city had galvanized pipes. We had citizens who had rushed in their water coming from the galvanized pipe, who have had the water line put in their home for the water meter to their homes, and it was told it wasn't their problem. Now you city council before us and said that we need an increase. Being in business and working with a business, working with a major company, I know you have to look beyond today up into the future. You got to project what you're going to do in the future. Your predecessors and the predecessors before you, none of them, even the ones on city council, nobody took that into consideration. Now we're in a dire need. You fix this problem this year. You're going to be back in front of the citizens again and say, hey, guess what? We got another problem. We got to fix. I don't think anyone is looking into advising the citizens on what I need, what is the problem, and what's going to take to fix the problem in the long run. You're putting a Band-Aid on something that needs a splint. We'll put a splint on something that needs surgery. We need to know what's going on with the systems here in Darlington. And no one is telling us that. Like I said, 20 years ago, I stood before the city council and said the same thing. And I advised some citizens then, they called DHEC about their water. New water pipes got put down. We have a problem. I know this is an old system. This is an old system. You got a camera now that you can run down pipes and see what's going on. Every sewer line should have that camera run down to determine where our problems are, so y'all can make a decision how to fix the problem and what's going to cost. Piecemealing is not going to get the job done. And to raise the water bill on some senior citizens, it's going to be a burden on some. But something's going to need to be done. We need to know up front, everything up front, not piecemeal. And if you're going to piecemeal now, make sure at the same time, come budget time, we'll be piecemealing again. If that pipe on East Broad Street is collapsing, what about on West Broad Street? What about on Pearl Street, Cashmere Street, Avenue D, South Main Street? Y'all been there on South Main Street in the last 5 years 4 times. Am I right?
Yes.
Piecemeal is something that we need to know what's going on. The citizens really need to know. And then they need to be able to make a conscious decision what they're going to support. And if you can't tell us that, what are we going to support? How can we support it? You know? We need to be able to say, you know what, we want to get this thing fixed. What is your solution in getting this problem fixed? But I guarantee you'll be back next year and the year after that. Because if this problem is just starting, you say these pipes are 100 years old, they're going to continue and continue. Talk to the citizens straight up. You got some equipment. use the equipment. If we don't have nobody to use the equipment, hire somebody to use the equipment to be able to tell us what we need to do to fix our problem in the city. Piecemealing is not going to make it. I'm one of those, I'm a senior citizen too. I'm retired too, I want to fix that job too.
Right.
So my income is going to go up too. My expense is going to go too. So I want to know totally what I need to expect over the years to come. Not the next 12 months. We need to know. And I have no problem in supporting you. If you tell me, if you advise me what's going on. If you're going to piecemeal me, it's going to make me sick. I'm going to get upset. I need to know. You need to know, right? Am I right? Ms. Millen, don't you need to know? You need to know where the problems are so y'all can make a conscious decision or make a recommendation to the citizens. These are the problems. This is how we want to go about fixing these problems. If you can't say that, what's the need of having a meeting? Because you're going to be back again. It's $15 now? Then you'll be back next year for $25. Back again for $50. Hey, I know the rates are going up. I talk to people all the time. And I was talked to a guy a few weeks ago and asked a question. And he started telling me some things. I said, wait a minute. What? And I was listening to him hard. Asking some hard questions with him. But I never heard anybody in this room here talk about the problem that we're facing. Those are my concerns. I know a lot of people don't fix it though. It's going to hurt them. But I need to know. We need to know how to adjust. Everybody needs to know how to adjust. If we're going to get something fixed, if your car breaks down and you know you got to fix your car, you got to make some adjustment, right? If you ain't got the money, right? If your house is leaking, you got to make some arrangement to get that roof fixed. You got to make some adjustment. We need to know what kind of adjustment we're going to make, calculate, and not have any stuff being piecemeal to us. I've been back, like I say, 30 years now. And I have never heard a council meeting talk about our needs. I never had anybody passionate, Mr. Garland, talk about what's going on in the city, like he spoke tonight. Got to give you to do. But we need to know more. We need to know more, sir. I need to know, I don't know about nobody, I need to know more. And I need for you all to tell me, Mr. Boyd, more, instead of piecemealing to me. I don't like to play piecemeal, you know. 44 years in business. Every time I needed something or wanted something, I had to tell my employee what my needs are and how we're going to pay for that expenditure. I had to let them know up front before I got what I needed. Then I make a promise. This is what I'm going to do to pay this for this equipment I'm getting. And so I feel the same way in business. The council should work the same way too. 44 years. 15 years in management, supervision. Everything I went after, I knew what I wanted, how I want to take care of it. The city the same way. Even though you take revenues from the citizens, we need to know. We need to know. Thank y'all very much.
Mr. Boston. And to answer your question, Mr. Boston, I've been here 5 months, 6 months now, and I'm digging to find out the answers for you and everybody else. Because no, I don't want to go back to you in January next year or 2 years from now, and we will have to continue to go up by a little bit. But we had to go up more than normal to try to get us our head above water. So yes, I agree with you 100%. I've been here for 5 months, 6 months, this is June, I guess 6 months now. And out of those 6 months, 3 months, this is the first time we're going to get back together and communicate closer together. So you can ask these people here. I have been asking questions, where are we spending this, where are we spending that? Can we do this better, can we do that better? Because we've got to do better with what we've got. We've got to do as strict as possible every dime that we spend to make what we've got better. Because what are we in right this moment? We're in a mess. Okay? We've got pipes that are messed up everywhere. And Ms. Boston will say, my question, Mr. Allen, is not the camera that he asked about. We can't send it system, correct?
We need a bigger track, track it out, not moving the pipe.
We need a bigger track for them. We need one now.
We need a bigger track. The camera itself works fine, but the track we have is a small track, we won't pull through pipes.
What they purchased before we got here, the camera should tell us where our problems are. But the camera they got will work, but they don't have everything they need to work with. Do we need to do an external audit? Probably do. But we don't have money to go out and hire somebody to do an external audit and spend that money. So we're trying. And you can ask the rest of the city council, we've talked about trying to get together. And we're doing that in the next few weeks. We're going to get together to look at every department, see where we can pitch every dime we can do to make sure that we're doing the best we've got with everything that we're getting. And so we've got to look at, and we know, without even sitting the camera down there, where a lot of the main problems. So we know that we've got to get that fixed. And before we can even start to get that fixed, boom, Broad Street explodes. And then boom, they had already taken care of Charmer Street over there. And yes, we got a smell. All of us smell that smell with the oil mill, with the CBD mills over there. And we don't like it. And we got to figure out what to do with it. Okay? We can't just walk over there and close it down. We want to go over and clean it up. So yes, we want to take care of that for you. Okay? So please do not think that any of these people sitting here, and I will speak for them, and you're more than welcome to get it, because I'm in control of it. You're more than welcome to take this mic and talk, okay? But I will speak for them. There's not a single person up here that's not fighting to try to make our town better, okay? But when you walk in, and I'm the one, he's one that has just walked in the door, and when we walk in the door and open up the car door to get in and try to crank it up, it's going, okay? That's what we stepped in. And they're trying to do the best they can. And we hate that we have to go up. We hate more than you hate that we go up. And to answer someone else's question, to be on this board, everybody has to be in the city. So we're all paying. Okay? I have multiple bills that I own. I have to pay the board. And yes, we hate it. Okay? And we will sit and try to think of ways that we can do things better to help people. Okay? But we're trying all we can give so the police know that these people are all working. Howard's been working with all he can possibly get. Okay? And we've got very little to work with. We're trying to do the best we got. Again, we are going to do an internal audit with every department and look at every department to see not are they stealing money. What is the best thing what can we do better with what you've got to help you, to help. We don't want the police chief running around here with 2 police officers. Okay? And we don't want to cut him down where he's got one officer running through town. Okay? But we also want to make sure that he's doing the best he can. Code department, doing the best they can. Sanitation, they want you running one truck. One of the ideas that I've come up with, maybe you can help us, and we need your help. Okay? We've got how many trucks? I think it's 6 trucks running through town. Pickers, trash trucks. They're pretty trucks, aren't they? Okay? What could be on the side of that truck? An advertisement. All right? It might not be a lot, but it's a little bit of money. Okay? And we can put on there to try to help bring some more revenue in, so I don't have to come back to you to ask for more money. So we're asking for different things. If you got different ideas that will help us generate, because money makes it go around. We've got to have some funds. So think of other ways that you could come up with that we can generate some funds that may work, may not work. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Does the city own any specific properties that are not being used?
We own some properties, I don't know if we have any that are not being used. We have any that's not being used.
They could be sold.
We've got for example, we've got the building on where the park is. Okay, this would be the Po' Boys restaurant. Okay, we could sell it. All right, but as Mr. Boston said, we've got to think about not today. We could sell it today and get some cash. Then how are we going to pay the bills next week? Okay, so we're going to take that building, and it won't take much to get it renovated. We're going to renovate that building and put it up for rent, so that therefore the city's got more money coming in. We've got to figure out ways that we can bring more revenue into the town without having to come to you and go, can you give us more money?
Didn't we just buy a ball field?
Did we buy a ball field? Yes, ma'am.
Why wasn't that money applied to address the problem?
Okay. Reason, say one more time, make sure I'm answering correctly. Say it one more time.
Right. Why wasn't that money, instead of buying a ball field, applied to the sewer problem?
Okay, why wasn't that money applied to the ball field? From the ball field to the sewer money? Because the money for that is in a different pocket. And it's hard to understand that sometimes. but you're allotted money that is only be able to use for certain things, okay? And so we bought a ball field. Why did we buy a ball field? We couldn't use that money. We could not use that money for street. We couldn't use it for sewer. It wasn't allowed to be used for that. So we bought a ball field because we haven't bought a ball field in 60 years. Why do we need a ball field? We need a ball field so that we can get people around the area excited that something's coming into town that's going to be nice for you and nice for other people to come into town so that we can have more people to come into town. We need more people, right? So that you're not the only one having to pay the water bill and you're the only one having to pay the water bill. We got more people coming in to pay the water bill, okay? And we got more people to come in to pay the water bill. We have more people in our town, then we can bring more businesses in. And then that way more businesses will help bring more revenue in, okay?
It seems like this.
But that money cannot be allotted for sewer.
So if you sell the building that Corwise was in and rented or whatever, is that money available to be used for other issues?
The Po' Boys restaurant? The Po' Boys restaurant has to go to hospitality also. But again, it has to go to hospitality. That money does. Now, like for the money that we put signs on the side of the truck for advertising, we put that anyway, right? That money could go to the streets and stuff. So there are other ways that we can do that.
Could you make known to the public how we could help you come up with ideas?
Yes, you can call me or take it by Howard and say, here's an idea that we maybe hadn't thought about. For example, your water bill. How else can we make money in your water bill? Everybody gets a water bill, right?
Yeah.
Everybody opens your water bill. What do you have in it? You have notes from Mrs. Rock here, right?
Yeah.
Would it hurt your feelings if there was one more sheet of paper in that water bill? And you opened it up and it said, hey, I could go down to the restaurant down here and get a $5 discount. Or I could go over to this business and it's got an advertisement in it. And somebody paying for advertising. There's another way that we can bring advertising that doesn't cost you anything that we're bringing in from the other businesses for advertising. So there are other ideas that you can help us with to bring more revenue into the town that we can use that to do different things with. Yes, sir.
Two questions
Yes, sir.
and a comment.
Yes, sir.
I've been living on Broad Street for 52 years.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When Miss Kessler was living, she made them increase the stack, the height on that brick stack that's down there now. The stack is still there. But since the marijuana plant is down there now, okay, they don't use that stack anymore. Okay? They got the stack is closer to the ground. Okay? I want to know what are we going to do with those blue trash cans for recycling? What are we doing with that?
What are we doing with the blue trash cans for recycling?
Yes, sir.
They're thinking of,
Well, they're not recycling no more?
yes.
Yes, sir, they are. During the time of the COVID when they shut down, there was about a month, I believe,
Okay.
that they stopped because they only have one crew running.
Okay.
Now they've started back. Am I correct?
Yes.
They've started back.
So is that?
Yes, sir.
So just push it out there on the regular day that when I get the regular pickup?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All the little children out the property, all day they're playing after the night. You know why? The high. The high from that plant. We got rid of one sack because of the ditch. They said it was causing the sack. And now we're going to.
But I will agree with you that it does smell, but it doesn't make them high.
It don't make them high?
No.
All right.
But it does smell.
I'm going to pick up some and the truck and the policeman go.
And I'll make you a promise.
I'm going to pick up some and you and I are going to sit down and have a smoke.
I'll make you. I'll smoke.
Jones, okay, I have a smoke tank.
I don't smoke. It smells like that.
I'm going to get some for you. And you and I, you know what I am. You and I are going to sit down in the backyard.
Okay. I'll come out and see you, but I'll smoke. But we'll go. I would like to have you go over there with me because I would like to go over there. We will personally go over there.
Okay, one more question.
Yes, sir.
How come police are down there? What they do? Guarding the marijuana?
I I'm not sure.
Why they not there? I don't spoke to my city, my councilman over there. She ain't done nothing about it, but I'm good. Why is the police down there, guarding the marijuana? They are security?
They're paying for it, yes, sir.
They are security for that weed that they're processing down there?
It's the CBD.
Oh, CBD?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I'm gonna pick up some, and the truck comes, I'm gonna pick up a little bit off the ground, and you and I are gonna sit down and get high. I smoke that. Don't tell me about that, don't get you
I'll
high.
tell you this, that my mother used CBD before she died, and she looked high.
All right, okay. All right, thank you. The other day you stopped and wanted to give me a hand.
Yes, sir.
I don't need your hand.
That's fine.
I did edge out the sidewalks.
Yes, sir.
I found out the sidewalks belong to the highway department.
Sir,
The sidewalks belong to the highway department.
the sidewalk belong to DOT also.
Say it again.
The sidewalk belong to DOT also. It's not going to-
DOT.
Yes, sir.
What is that? Department of Transportation.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mayor, all our sidewalks is in real bad shape.
I know that. I run up down them all the time and I bus to you.
Yeah, real bad shape. But I did edge up the one down by the house. It looks real good. Did you see? You see?
And I thank you for that.
Thank me for my continued support. But we still got an appointment. We're gonna smoke some of that. I don't drink smoking, but I'm gonna start back up to you.
Keep going. I may have to.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I appreciate it.
And if you ever do need a hand,
Yeah.
you're doing a wonderful job, and I know you don't always need a hand, but if you ever do need a hand, you're more free to call me. I'll be glad to help.
No, I ain't for you. Mr. Garland, you were getting ready to cry a little bit ago.
Well, you have no idea how much I cry at work.
Pardon me?
You have no idea how much I cry at work. These last 10 years since I've been manager, the hardest in my life because of all the things that happened, the drownings, the tornado, the hurricane, flood.
Yeah. Well, I'm not complaining about you crying. I just thought it was so. Make sure you put that in your newspaper, sir, that it was very touching. Okay.
As I told you, everybody wants to grab the mic.
Yeah, but he's always been a good man as far as I know, you know. Okay. But anyhow, Mayor, you got an appointment, okay?
Yes, sir.
It's about those police officers you mentioned that sit 24/7 at the CBD oil plant. They're in Darlington municipal police cars. They run the entire time they're there. They may be paid off-duty police officers, but those are still city resources. And if I'm not mistaken, in our budget this year, the police department is asking for new vehicles, possibly because theirs are busy down at the Garland plant. And
Steve Washington.
but that's not all. That plant is only a couple of blocks away from where I live, from where Echo lives, and they're shooting up her house. The neighbor on the other side has had a home invasion. They kicked her door in, and we've got drug dealers living across the street. And I never see anybody with a police officer driving down the street. And I want to know, how much does it cost to rent a police officer? Because my neighbors and I might want to get together and rent one.
I'm sorry, what street you live on there?
West Broad.
West Broad, okay, very good. Now, as it relates to the vehicles that are at the plant pays for those vehicles. They pay the city for those vehicles, and they pay those police officers, because those police officers are off duty. And so anytime that they work, any kind of private security, if the businesses ask for a police vehicle to be there, they pay the city for that vehicle. Because that vehicle belongs to the city. It doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to the governing council. It belongs to the city. And so anytime that they want to use it for security, they have to pay extra. But as it relates to those other issues that you discussed, on Broad Street, we have been working on those things, and we have made some arrests in some of those cases. And I would love to talk to you more about it. I have an open door policy. I think many folks that are in here tonight are taking advantage of it. I'll be more than happy to sit down and discuss any issue with you as it relates to anything going on in the city. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Now, my question is, if they're down there guarding the plant, and let's say something happens, is the city going to be liable if that officer shoots somebody or gets killed or whatever? Who's liable there if we've got city?
I'll answer for a second, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
He just said that they were all due.
Right.
So they're being rented, per se, for that plant. At that point, I wouldn't think that they would leave the facility. If they did leave the facility, come over.
No. I mean, if something happens to them at the facility.
At the facility.
Right.
If something was to happen to that facility, who's responsible? Are they,
The city is
shot
not-
somebody there, they would be off duty, would they be part of the city?
No, sir. They are off duty. They are responsible for themselves. The other part of your question, if there is an emergency in the area, one of the deals that we worked out with that company is that if there's an emergency, and we believe that officer can get there to help out, he leaves and he goes and helps out.
Well, like I said, my concern is if something happens to that officer, they're in a police car on an off-duty job, and, who's gonna reimburse that guy's family or her family or, what happens there? Because to me, having a city vehicle, they're in. I mean, it's just like when I worked out at the racetrack, everybody had to sign a waiver before they could get a credential. But if something happened, that waiver was no good.
They have, any part-time job that they work on, I have to approve it, and there are waiver of liabilities that they have to sign. That officer is responsible. Now, to be totally honest with you, the reason why a lot of police officers work part-time jobs is because of the salaries.
I agree.
And so they've got mortgages, they've got car payments, they've got kids, they gotta go to college, and so they work these part-time jobs to make ends meet. And so that's why I give them the flexibility of trying to do that. And then, like I said, the company pays for the use of that vehicle because that vehicle belongs to you all.
So how much does it cost for us to rent? With the officer. With the officer.
Just come by his office.
All
Yes, sir.
of my Broad Street neighbors, okay, I don't recognize any of them. But anyhow, you all say you live on Broad Street. I just had a break-in Monday, 2:30 in the afternoon. Happened within like a 30-minute period. Hello, be prepared.
Well, we're busy up there.
Okay.
Okay. What's my house? You said they
15.
was correctly
That's
wrong. He said that they bought the husband bought the pipes before they even installed the pipes. Am I getting that right? What you said? You said that and I don't know.
He's got a camera. They are camera.
And
The camera back was the same. The camera was not strong enough. Trying to take it through the water. Additional piece of equipment that make the camera work so we can see. We don't have money to go and say, fix it. We need to try the other part of the camera so that we can start comparing and say, well, we all know that the pipes from Wall Street, from Hardy Farm, need to fix. Are they worse than the ones on your street? Which ones? Some of the ones we can go through and look, you can already see the cracks. Some of the ones on Wall Street that he showed us the other day, if you go to finish up their camera, went down and showed us, and you see cracks already start forming, so we know, hey, it's time on it. Go ahead and fix that beforehand. Take a moment. assuming you thought it was gonna work, correct?
I didn't have anything to say.
You're wrong, assuming it's gonna work.
I think when we bought it, and then unfortunately figured out our stormwater has natural water. So when you're driving canopy water, you can't really see. So the good tractor, what it is, it's gonna raise it off the ground and allow it to see in there better. And unfortunately, it was the other side. So it's gonna have things all over the more from the back truck, which y'all seen our parties, from parties, you'll learn down, sure, how much it's overflow and the other parts of the community. We're just adding the tools so that we can use that truck to the best of its ability.
So what they wasted money was like before I thought poured out like this, and I thought, look at my big long pleasure. Two people were good, still say, but you don't realize they're about 250, 350 put together a lot of time. So they bought it and I realized that there's that much water that they're going to have to buy additional parts. But we are looking to try to, once they bought these parts, and we are trying to look to see if we can further make find out where our issues are, what we need to work on next. Okay? All right, I think that is anybody else. All right, I want to thank you for your time tonight and comments. I hope that you realize that we are here to try to help you. Okay. All right, y'all, we have a motion to adjourn. We have a second. Everybody in favor? Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming tonight.